Good morning, Du Bois Academy. It's Mr. Storkerson. I'm going to give you 5 seconds to stop laughing at the fact that I am both in front of you and on the screen here. So again, Mr. Storkerson, I'm wanting to switch to this new format where I will digitally lay out for you exactly what we're going to be doing today, what we're going to be doing this week, what the class expectations are. So without further ado, class expectations.
So what are we going to do today, Brain?
The same thing we do every day, Pinky. We stay in our chairs, we speak at level 1, and we do nice work.
Mr. Storkerson, can we do this? Is that okay?
Mask up, Micah. And no, expectation number 1, no dust angels, please.
Mr. Storkerson, how about this? Is that okay, Mr. Storkerson? Is that okay, Mr. Storkerson?
Mask up, stand up, Micah. No. No, we're not throwing things. Don't throw pens, don't throw paper, don't spit things out on each other. Do I have to tell you this, really? No. No. The expectation is you should do none of those things. None of those things, please. Main expectation, if you can't say or do something nice, just don't do it at all. So be nice to your classmates, be nice to me, and do nice work. Sound good? Yeah, that's good to hear. So yeah, I'm over here now, and I would like to go over some of the work that we did last week, as well as some examples of people who just did a stellar job with it, who did a nice job with it. So please, again, we're doing a nice job and being nice to each other. Check out this good work. And yes, now that I pointed out, this tree is actually pretty good work too.
Jaden Richardson is pretty much showing us what we're supposed to be doing right here. We were doing 5 notes for each of the planets before, and you'll notice that each of these is a full sentence. There is a complete thought, something to be understood for the future. Each one is relevant. It's one of the key points mentioned in the videos, and it's something that could reasonably be remembered. Again, this is a good example of how notes could and should be done.
Some patterns are what I'm looking for good notes. Would be having not just 1 or 2 or 3 words, like a key term, but actually telling me what it is. That way you're giving yourself something to remember as well as something meaningful to connect it to. That's the key. Always have something meaningful so that if you read it later, so that if I read it later, it's very clear what is supposed to be learned, what is supposed to be remembered, what it is that was new to you. The second is the organization of it, that you have them numbered, that it's clear where it's from, so that it has the name of the assignment that you're working on, so that you yourself can go and reference this later and be able to know what you are reviewing. And I guess the third one would be do more. Don't do the bare minimum. I offer extra credit for doing more than the bare minimum precisely because I'm trying to incentivize you, give you an incentive, give you a kind of reward for doing the right thing, which is to engage with the learning. If only getting the bare minimum takes you the whole time, that's fine. I set the bare minimum as the time I expect most people to take to do it. If you can fit in more, good. Try to stay focused, getting as much as possible from what you're watching and listening to, so that way you can take away as much as possible from what you're watching and listening to. Due dates kind of matter too, guys. If I'm giving you an assignment in class that's supposed to be due today or set for tomorrow because I'm giving you the opportunity to do it as homework, don't save it to be done as homework. I don't actually plan on you guys having much of any homework at all. If you do, it's because you're not focused in class. You should just focus in class. Things go faster. Things feel like they go faster, and you get a better grade. Plus, it's what you're supposed to be doing. Remember those expectations? Yeah? With that said, we've got the expectations, the review of last week, and now let's get focused on something. Here's your bell ringer. I'm going to show you a TikTok video each day, 1 to 3 TikTok videos, and then ask you a question. Your bell ringer is that question. You answer the question about the videos that we watch and include that with the notes on what we're doing that day.
In today's lesson, we're going to be learning about grammar.
Oh, great. A new sub.
MT, 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 MT.
The teacher no one asked for, but the teacher we need.
All right, bell ringer question for you. Describe how the sun and planets, describe how the solar system moves through space. Describe how the solar system moves through space. That's your bell ringer for today. All right, bell ringer question for you. Describe how the sun and planets, describe how the solar system moves through space. Describe how the solar system moves through space. That's your bell ringer for today. All right, so with that bell ringer done, let's get started on the slideshow. Wait. Now let's get started. I would like to take some time to talk about electric and driverless cars, but this may have to wait until next semester. We will see. First and foremost, I have to make sure that you guys actually learned and don't forget a lot of what we were trying to cover with the planets. So, first and foremost, let's go over these 2 new ed puzzles, and we'll spend some time reviewing them thereafter. But for today, light and distances. Light and distances are the 2 ed puzzle names. Take 5 notes on each one as a minimum. You'll get 20 points for each ed puzzle. That's 40 points for the ed puzzles. And you will also get 10 points for each puzzle's notes. So 20 points for the notes, 40 points for the ed puzzles, 60 notes total for today.